Hi, Weber, Kabbalah Guru. Welcome back to my channel. We're going to follow the Torah today. We're going to talk about who is a Jew. This is a really important point that needs to be clarified. I'm seeing a lot of information on the web. We're in the middle of World War III, really, where this is an information war. And there's a lot of misinformation about what is a Jew and who is a Jew. And I think it aligns perfectly with today's Torah portion. We're talking about Moses. He ran away from Egypt because he killed an Egyptian man. And this kind of deception, there was deception on both sides. There's deception going on within and from without. And we need to clearly see who is on which side. I think that's really important. So I'm going to discuss like some basic Jewish principles that people who are not Jewish really need to understand. Okay? Please like and subscribe to my channel. I could really use some financial aid. If you can send me something on PayPal, that would be greatly appreciated. Join my Patreon channel. Take my course. If you haven't taken my course, really cool Kabbalah course below, and it'll help you align with your sense of purpose. Please like and subscribe. Hit the notification bell so I can send you other videos. And let's rock. Okay, the Alter Rebbe said we should live with the times. When his Hasidim asked him, what do you mean live with the times? He said, live with the Torah portion of today. I feel like I'm in the middle of a bit of a storm. I mean, there is a storm taking place. We all know what that is. But we do not need to have conflicts within our ranks. And this is really what this Torah portion is about today. And I'm going to talk about these things, you know, in kind of a basic way, basic fundamental principles about who is a Jew and who is not, and what it requires to be considered either a Jew or a Noahide person. And that is like part of the Jewish community. If you observe the Noahide laws, the 7 commandments of Noah, you are considered a righteous Gentile, and you can be part of the Jewish community with no problem. Okay, so let's just get into let's just briefly touch on today's Torah portion. So Moses was, so today is Tuesday. It is, I believe it's 12/21/21, a very interesting day. We don't know when the Kabbalah is going to make their move. There's a lot going on. There's a lot afoot. There's a lot of misinformation, and I want to clear up some like basic misinformation about Judaism and righteous Gentiles during this video. And, you know, I mean no harm. I just want to set the record straight because people should know. So in today's Torah portion, the Jews are suffering in Egypt. The taskmasters are brutal, just like what's going on today. These are the same cabal. This is the same team. This is Moilech. This is biblical. There's no question about it. These people have infiltrated every strata of society and religion. And we need to know which side is, which end is up. Okay, so that's what I'm going to talk about. So Moses became great. He's in Pharaoh's household. You know, he's like running the house, and he sees an Egyptian hitting a Jew. He finds out about that. It turns out that this Egyptian, like when this Jewish guy goes to work, this Egyptian had an eye on the Jewish man's wife, and is visiting his wife while the Jewish man is working. He's hitting the Jewish man. This Egyptian guy who was sneaking into the Jewish man's house to covert with his wife is hitting the Jewish man, is beating him. So Moses kills the Egyptian man. And then the next day he finds out that there are some informants among the Jewish ranks, and the 2 Jewish men say, we saw you kill the Egyptian man, now you're going to kill us. And so Moses understood that there was a problem, that there were difficulties, that there are people who don't know which side they're on, and that's really a problem. So he left Mitzrayim, he left Egypt, and he went to Midian, where he met his wife Zipporah, and he lived with Jethro, with Yisro. This was a very, very important, this is a very important part of the Torah, and Jethro represents a very critical point, and this is really the baseline of the whole thing, is that Jews and non-Jews need to work together. We could not, the Jewish people could not receive the Torah until Jethro came to visit Moses. That's when the Torah was given to us. So it's very important that Jews and non-Jews get together in a way that is not influenced by the Kabbalah, by the Jesuits, by the Illuminati. And if you're doing your research, everything is uncovered now, so we can clearly find out. And he meets his wife at the well. He gives birth to a son which he names Gershom, meaning stranger there, because he's a stranger in a strange land. And this is really important. Remember, everything was with Moses involves water, and Moses, if you've taken my Kabbalah course, or if you've been on my channel, you know what tohu means, that Moses is associated with the force of tohu, which is involved with Asev, and this is a perfect opportunity to just lay out some basic Jewish concepts for people to understand. I'm very proud of the fact that this channel reaches out to Noahide people, and that I have some very dedicated Noahide people who follow the Noahide laws and are considered righteous Gentiles on my channel. I saw a video yesterday that was recommended on one of the Telegram websites. I think it was Red Pill Patriot or something, and they were saying that, we're all Jewish now. You were part of the lost tribes. This is utter and complete nonsense. And this is part of the Kabbalah's plan to separate us, to make new laws, to change things, to make new testaments that, do not make sense to Jewish people. It's okay for non-Jews, but this is not Judaism. And people should not be misled into thinking it is. There are people who go to reform shuls and they get a reform conversion. These are not called Jewish people. These are not going to be citizens of Israel. And the Rebbe cried about this. He cried about this deception that's going on. It's happening in the Jewish world. It's happening in the non-Jewish world. What is a Jew? A Jew is somebody who has a Jewish mother, period. Okay? Or a convert. And to be converted, you have to be converted in an orthodox way, not in a reform, not in a conservative shul. Those conversions are not acceptable to Torah Jews. And we want to go by, there are rules on the planet. Now, to say that you're a member of the lost tribe and therefore you're like part of this new Judaism, this is just the Kabbalah. The Kabbalah infiltrated. I mean, look at the Vatican. Look what took place in the Vatican. This is an infiltration from within. And do not be misled by these people who really, it's not that they're bad people. I don't believe this Red Pill Patriot is a bad person. She has a good heart, I'm sure, but she just doesn't know. And, there is information out there, and unfortunately has to come through me. I'm not the most qualified. I'm not a rabbi. I'm just giving you what I know. And, to say I'm a member of the lost tribe and we have a new book now, that's okay for non-Jews, but do not consider that Jewish. It's not Jewish in any way, shape, or form. Okay, so what do I want to say here? What I want to say is, if you want to be considered a righteous Gentile, and if you want to be a member of the Jewish community, you need to do research into the Noahide laws, into the 7 laws of Noah. Okay, it's all over online. Information is pouring out. So, it's not a problem. And if you want to become a Jew, if you have a Jewish soul, this happens. It's not such a weird thing that it doesn't happen. If you are, if you have a Jewish soul and you're in a non-Jewish body, then you should get an Orthodox conversion. It's not easy, and the Jewish life is not. It's not an easy thing. I know a lot of people that are non-Jews are completely filled with, this sort of simple faith. And that is such a beautiful thing. And nobody should ever take that away from you. That is your strength. That is your connection to God. You don't need to be Jewish to have simple faith. But if you want to be considered a righteous Gentile in terms of Judaism, you need to know what the Noahide laws are, and you need to follow the Noahide laws. Now, a lot of people do that. But to say there's a new religion and we're part of the lost tribes, this is just an utter fantasy that was probably started by the Kabbalah, who, just like in today's Torah portion, you have Jewish people, basically ratting out on Moses. There is infiltration from within. I mean, I've heard reports that the Jewish intelligence agencies are working on behalf of the Kabbalah. You saw what happened in Israel with this medical treatment. It's a shamda. It's a disgrace. And I don't want to get into this because, I value what little, this is a second channel for me. I always post on Telegram. I always post on Rumble. If you need to contact me, you can send me an email, but I'm not going to get into a big discussion with people who think they are Jewish, because somebody's misinforming them and telling them that, you have simple faith. If you follow the Noahide laws, you're considered a righteous Gentile. If you convert according to Orthodox standards, you are a Jew. And you follow the Jewish laws. You keep Shabbos, you keep the holidays, you keep family purity, all these things. It's not a problem. But there are rules, and there are, this is what the Kabbalah wants to take away from us. So that's really it. I mean, come to my channel. We learn every day from 11 to 12. I have a lot of people who follow the Noahide laws, and I consider them righteous Gentiles. So anyway, that's really it. Just, if you want to know more, come to my channel. Like I said, we do live meetings every day, 11 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. You just have to find me on YouTube. I'm not so easy to find right now because they took down my main channel. But you can always find me on Rumble, and I have all the links on my Rumble channel as to where you can find me in the live meetings. So please come to our live meetings. You can reach out to me. There are different ways to reach out to me. But let's be clear. There are Jews, there are righteous Gentiles, and there are non-Jews. If you follow the Noahide laws, the 7 laws of Noah, which are not really that hard to follow, you are considered a righteous Gentile. And in that sense, you are part of the Jewish community. But you are not Jewish. You are not obligated to do the same things that Jewish people do. So there's all kinds of fakery and chicanery going on out there. I don't want to be part of that. I love you guys. I love my people, my peeps. Keep coming. We have a tremendous thing where we learn Torah together, Torah and Tanya. You don't have to be Jewish to come to my channel. But if you want to consider yourselves part of the Jewish community, you have to observe the Noahide laws. And you're not automatically Jewish because you think you're Jewish. There are standards. They're very, simple. It's a very simple and clearly defined set of rules. Orthodox conversion, become a Noahide. Anyway, that's really it. I don't mean to be harsh. That's a big point of misunderstanding. And we are in the middle of World War III. This is an information war. We are winning. We're coming into the Great Awakening. We're coming into the era of Mashiach, where we will contact God directly. All people will contact God directly, I believe. But we need to have a basic, a baseline where we can all understand what the rules are, and then it'll be very easy for us to get along, okay? So please like and subscribe to my channel. Take my Kabbalah course below. You don't have to be Jewish to take my Kabbalah course. I really appreciate it. Right now, I can use the funds. You can donate to my PayPal channel, become a Patreon member. We learn Torah every day, 11 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. Just look for the links under my Rumble channel or under my YouTube second channel if you can find it. That's it. Just have the best day possible. Know that you are the one. God created everyone with an individual mission. This is really fits into this is my whole basic shtick, my whole basic thing, is that you are the only one in the creation of reality, in the matrix, in the big matrix, in God's matrix, that can be you. Don't try to be somebody else. We don't need somebody else. We need you. Noahide people are incredibly important right now. I personally believe that the reason that the Jewish Messiah hasn't come yet is because the Jews need to educate the non-Jews to the Noahide laws, to the 7 laws of Noah. And once this is done, and once we develop a strong, vigorous Noahide world, Mashiach we will open our eyes and he will be there. May the force be with you, and God bless.